So, ladies and gentlemen, we're set to take a proper look back at a weapon from the Battlefield series today. You've been asking me to include other games in this series other than Battlefield 3, 4 and Bad Company 2. Last week we had Hardline feature, and this week we have Battlefield 2. Today we're looking at the L85 Assault Rifle. The L85 has featured in plenty of modern-day Battlefield titles, starting with Battlefield 2 and its console branch-off, Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. The weapon then moved forward into Battlefield Online, which is a remake of Battlefield 2 using the 2142 Refractor engine, and it was specifically made for the Asian market. After that, it moved to play for free, Battlefield 3, 4 and Hardline. The L85 comes from the SA-80 family of British weapons, which in themselves derive from the Armalite AR-18 platform. Featuring a bulb-up design and selective fire, the L85A1 became the standard issue rifle for the British Armed Forces in 1987, and the improved A2 variant is still in use today. The weapons will remain in service until 2025. But right now, it's time to look at the L85 in Battlefield 2. Before I begin this segment, a massive thank you to Danny on PC for getting me this Battlefield 2 gameplay. Make sure you check out his channel, it's linked down in the description. There's no way I would have been able to get this footage. I've tried installing that free version of Battlefield 2 on my PC, but for some reason at the moment it just won't work. Also, I have zero knowledge of Battlefield 2, so this section is more of a showcase than anything else. In Battlefield 2, the L85 comes in two variants, the A1 and the A2. The A1 came in the base game and it sits in the medic class and features a SUSAT scope instead of using the iron sights of the weapon. It is the most accurate assault rifle available in the game, and combined with that 2.5x scope, it makes this weapon a choice for somebody who likes to be really accurate with their shots. It does 34 damage per shot and features a 3x headshot multiplier, and that makes it capable of taking down enemies in one hit to the head. To offset that extreme power though, the weapon has a very high spread increase per shot, so you'll become more inaccurate if you sustain your fire, and that makes it almost a formality for you to go for single shot fire wherever you can. The A2 variant came with the European Force expansion pack and is available to the EU Assault Kit. The weapon has a different colour scheme to the A1, a different handguard, and uses the iron sights as opposed to an optic. Attached is an underbarrel grenade launcher, the AG-36, and that makes this weapon a little bit more versatile than the A1 variant, and overall it has slightly higher spread and recoil, which means picking between the two is more of a personal choice than simply picking one over the other for pure aesthetic reasons. But now it's time to move on to Battlefield 3, where the L85 became one of my favourite assault rifles in the entire game. Here, the L85 was introduced into the game as part of the first DLC for Battlefield 3, Back to Karkand, and that remastered 4 maps from Battlefield 2. Having just looked at Battlefield 2, it's clear to see that the weapon was popular back then, with 2 distinct variants in the same game. To unlock it here in Battlefield 3, you need to complete the assignment called Professional Russian, and this required you to complete the previous assignment called Best Friends Forever, and on top of that you needed 100 kills with assault rifles, 20 kills with the M320, and the last bit, 5 round wins on squad deathmatch. If you tried to unlock this weapon now, you'd be hard pushed to find a server running squad deathmatch. In-game, the L85A2 sits as one of the slower firing, more deliberate assault rifles alongside the likes of the AK-74M. The 650 round rate of fire and low recoil values across the board lead it to be more of a long-range precision weapon, and it works really well with the inclusion of a high-powered optic like the ACOG. It really does help you focus in on those long-range targets. But as I found out, it also makes for a great suppressed weapon in close to medium range gunfights. In Battlefield 3, a suppressor will conceal your location from enemies by not flashing you up on the minimap when you fire. You have to be physically spotted by another player. Because of its low recoil and rate of fire, 9 times out of 10 the bullets you fire in those gunfights are going to hit your target, and you're going to take them down with ease. I personally find it a little bit of a challenge to run with iron sights over something like the Cobra sight, as well as having the suppressor on there. That keeps things interesting, that reduces the bullet velocity, but surprisingly, it actually serves me really well. As it's a bullpup weapon, reload time is a little bit on the high side, 2.8 seconds for a short reload. That's a whole second longer than the M16, and 3.4 seconds for a long reload. And you can't attach any underslung gadgets to it either, which is a shame. But it's certainly one of my favourite setups to run with as an assault player in Battlefield 3. I'd call it my slow and steady loadout. And that's alongside the jack-of-all-trades M416 and the spray and pray AEK. It's a good sidekick really in most engagements, but you will want to avoid extreme close quarters if you can. Time to look at Battlefield 4 now, where the L85 got a well-deserved buff. In Battlefield 4, the L85 again features as a DLC weapon. It seems the British design is destined to never be quite good enough for the main game. It comes as part of the China Rising DLC, and could be unlocked by completing the Open Fire assignment, which requires players to be rank 10, have 3 assault rifle ribbons, and then all of the following to be completed in one round. A pistol kill, a 40mm grenade kill, and a kill with the defibrillators. All of that in one round. I mentioned that the L85 got a buff moving from Battlefield 3 to 4, and it was a very good one. The rate of fire increased to 750 rounds a minute, changing it from a long-range precision rifle into a more aggressive medium to close range rifle. With that increased rate of fire though, comes with slightly more vertical recoil, but as its side-to-side recoil is even and equal, it doesn't move one way more than it does the other, the recoil is quite easy to predict and control. If you're going for medium-range gunfights, I'd suggest sticking a muzzle brake on there. That will help reduce some of that vertical recoil a little bit. But because of that increased rate of fire, the L85 now becomes a lot more useful in urban situations. Maps like Locker and Metro are a perfect place to use it, peeking round corners and securing the hallways. Another change from Battlefield 3 is the underslung gadgets can now be attached to this weapon like the M320 launcher. Now I tend to stay away from these things anyway, but the option is there if you want to use it. The L85 in Battlefield 4 almost replaced my like for the M416, but overall the 416 wins out due to slightly lower recoil and a shorter reload time. The L85 is a bullpup, reload times are always going to be longer than other rifles, so really it's going to lose out against any of the AR-15 weapons. It's time to look at the rifle in Battlefield Hardline now, where the weapon's inclusion was rather controversial.
Oh, look at that, shit just got real.
Now, the L85 in Hardline caused a bit of a ruckus in the community before the weapon was even available in the game. It was offered as a pre-order incentive, a pre-order only weapon. And as I'm sure we know, pre-ordering games and holding back content from the main game is generally frowned upon. It was part of the Precision Battle Pack, which fortunately was made available to all other players at a later date when Visceral dropped their second DLC for the game called Robbery. It does come default equipped with the ACOG scope, and as the name of the battle pack suggests, it is built for precision, and in many ways it actually mimics the L85s that were included in Battlefield 2. It's advisable to use the L85 in hardline at medium to long range. A low rate of fire of just 675 rounds a minute and a super high spread increase per shot means the weapon is best operated either in short bursts or even semi-auto fire. Its minimum damage of 15 doesn't really help it in the long range fighting, but if you go full auto, the spread on the bullets will get wider and wider, making the gun extremely inaccurate. See what I mean about it being similar to Battlefield 2? Perhaps Visceral were trying to recreate the damage model from the previous games, but whatever happened with Hardline's weapon balance system, I'll never really be able to make sense of it. Some weapons seem to be extremely powerful, and others don't even seem worth bothering with. So, the L85 in Battlefield has seen a lot of changes throughout the last few games in the franchise. I think it's safe to say it was at its most useful in Battlefield 4, being an aggressive rifle useful to most players, but I preferred it in Battlefield 3, where it was more of a precision tool. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave your suggestions down below for what weapon I should feature next on Through the Ages. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.